it's Sheena from Teton Raptor Center, and I'm here to give you all this week's patient update. So let's go ahead and get started. First up this week, we're going to cover our recent transfers, and here we've got Swainson's Hawk 831. Her paperwork is complete, and she is officially a resident ambassador at Teton Raptor Center. Here she is in her new enclosure in the roost, where she seems to be super content with the enclosure. As soon as we put her in, she started eating right away, and she seems very comfortable. Moving on to our current patients, we've got Merlin 39, and this little falcon recently got his wrap off, and so now we're going to continue another 2 weeks of cage rest in the ICU before we can start any flight conditioning with him. Because elbow luxations or dislocations are very unstable, it means that we need to treat this injury really delicately until it's fully and completely healed in order for him to have the best chance at flying again. Next up, we have Red-tailed Hawk 221, and this is the bird that had a broken wing when he came in. We are scheduled to get this pin removed next week on Wednesday, so we're really excited about that. We've been doing daily physical therapy in order to maintain a healthy range of motion in his wrist and in his elbow. Right now, his wrist is a little bit tight, but his elbow feels absolutely amazing, so that's a really good sign. And we were treating this bird for potential rodenticide poisoning, and he seems to be responding really well to that treatment. Here we've got Red-tailed Hawk 210, and this Idaho Falls hawk will be ready for release back into the wild as soon as he passes his live prey testing. Next up is Bald Eagle 210, and this bird was recently moved out of the PCU and into a larger enclosure in the flight barn. His humerus is much more stable now, and he's going to continue to get physical therapy roughly about 2 to 3 times per week. You can see he's still perching quite low to the ground, but we hope with more physical therapy that we can get him perching up higher in no time. Here we've got Golden Eagle 29, and this eagle was also recently moved into the flight barn. He's in a really big enclosure right now where he's going to begin flight conditioning for release. His coracoid is completely healed and his lead level is low, so it's not a concern anymore. So this bird seems to be doing really well. Next up is Great Horned Owl 130, and this bird was living in the flight barn but has actually moved back into the PCU since we felt that the trauma sustained from her wing injury could probably use some more time before she should be flying. However, the corneal ulcer is completely healed, and she is non-visual out of her left eye, but we still think that she has potential for release. As long as she can pass live prey testing, she'll still be a good candidate for being a wild bird. Here we've got Common Raven 111. This is the bird that was illegally shot in Jackson. She's getting acupuncture right now once a week and physical therapy a couple of times a week. Just to improve the range of motion in the elbow. However, that elbow range of motion is still not very good, and little progress has been made in improving that range of motion, but we're going to continue to keep trying a little bit longer with her. You can see she gets around in her enclosure really well, just walking around on the ground, but she hasn't been able to get up to any of the high perches. Here we've got Great Horned Owl 1112, and this bird is also receiving acupuncture once a week and undergoing flight conditioning to strengthen her wing. We do fly her almost once a day. Here's a video of her flying and things that we look for. So we're looking to see the symmetry in both wings, and it actually appears that her right wing is not as symmetrical as her left. Her left is the non-injured wing. And so you can see in this slow motion video, she's really pumping a lot just to try and get to that low perch on the other side. Next up is Red-tailed Hawk 525. We plan to release this bird as soon as possible now that the snowpack is a lot less dense, and we will be putting a transmitter on this bird and a band. So hopefully we'll get him out the door this week or next. But here he is flying in the flight barn. He looks beautiful, nice symmetrical flight, really careful landings. This is exactly what we want to see in a bird that's about to be released. And last but not least is our female golden eagle 4-2, who's still awaiting approval from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to get her transferred to the Ecotarium in Massachusetts. But until then, she is happy and content here at Teton Raptor Center. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. That's all we've got. I hope you enjoyed learning more about our birds. And if you can check out our website at tetonraptorcenter.org, you can make a donation to help keep wild birds wild. Bye!